How's it going everyone? Chris here with the next episode of Call of Duty Arsenal, my little video series where we take a look at the various popular weapons from Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops. This time around we're going back to Call of Duty 4 to take a look at the AK-74U, which is when the infamous AK-74U, well, which has been made infamous from Black Ops. It's when this weapon was first introduced to the Call of Duty series. It made its debut back in 2007 in Call of Duty 4. So much like the AK-47 that we looked at in a previous episode, the full name of the AK-74 is Automat Kalashnikova, or Automatic Kalashnikov, with the 74 being 1974, the year of its invention. The AK-74 is actually an assault rifle, but the U version we see in game is actually the AK-74U, which is the carbine version of the AK-74 assault rifle. It's found under the SMG category in game and is unlocked at level 28. So first up, let's take a look at the damage ratings, the stats and figures for the AK-74 in Call of Duty 4. First up, the damage ratings are exactly the same as the MP5, 40-20, that's 40 up close, dropping off to 20 at long range. This makes it a 3-shot kill up close or a 5-shot kill at distance, but if you do manage to get a headshot in there, the head multiplier allows you to get a 2-shot kill up close or a 4-shot kill at long range. The recoil pattern's pretty moderate. The recoil actually is less than the MP5, although the visual bounce, the animation on screen does seem to be quite prominent, and you would think that the AK-74 has quite a lot of recoil, but the gun's quite accurate and it does keep all its shots fairly on target. It's got the exact same rate of fire of 800 rounds per minute as the MP5, a slightly slower reload time at 2.5 seconds or 3.2 seconds for empty, and the typical 30 round magazine size. So there's definitely something about Call of Duty games and the AK-74U. They always tend to get this weapon wrong or mixed up. In Black Ops it's classed as the AK-74U and it's actually the AKS-74U, and it's a similar story in Call of Duty 4. They've got the AK-74U, but the actual weapon that they have in game is kind of like a mix and match of all different Kalashnikov weapons. It doesn't really match the real life AK-74. But it's only a computer game at the end of the day, and the AK-74U is obviously found in the submachine gun category, so it has many of the typical submachine gun traits, although the AK-74U in Call of Duty 4 has some unusual and quite unique traits in comparison to the MP5 and the P90 and the Mini Uzi. The AK-74U in Call of Duty 4 has quite high bullet penetration and quite a low hip fire accuracy, especially if you attach the silencer or red dot sight. So this makes it pretty similar to an assault rifle in those two instances. Obviously the increased bullet penetration is always an advantage, but the wider hip fire accuracy is not quite as good. So whenever we think of AK-74 nowadays, with it being so, quote, overpowered in Black Ops, we see it's quite a newbie or a try-hard weapon to use, but it wasn't the case in Call of Duty 4. Back then it was pretty balanced, although the whole category of weapons wasn't quite as large, but it was pretty much on par with the MP5. Probably not quite as popular, but it does have the advantage of deeper bullet penetration, although it's got that very slightly longer reload time and the worse hip fire accuracy. But quite a unique sound effects to it, and those iron sights are pretty good to use. They're pretty much the same as the versions we see in Black Ops. So let's move on and take a look at recommended perks for setting up a class using the AK-74 in Call of Duty 4. First up, it can be quite easy to burn through all your ammunition with the AK-74U, so we'll equip the bandolier perk for the first perk slot, just to give you a few extra magazines so you don't run dry. Second up, a competitive alternative to stopping power is the double tap perk when using the AK-74. Double tap's essentially rapid fire in the later Call of Duties, and it can make the AK-74 very powerful indeed. Obviously it increases that rate of fire, which quickens up the time it takes to take anyone out. I had a couple of games using double tap, but I found myself going back to stopping power just for that increased weapon damage. I found that I was exhausting a magazine way too fast, and it was kind of affecting me taking on multiple people, whether it's multiple people at a time for double or triple kills, or whether it was just taking out one person and having to reload before I move on to the next, and I'd often get killed in the process. So the sleight of hand perk goes in the same slot as stopping power and or double tap, so it can't be equipped at the same time. So for me, I prefer stopping power just to give you that increased damage. Allows you to get those kills with one less shot, and just speeds up your game in that you can take people out much quicker and get those nice double or triple kills. Third up, like we mentioned, whenever you equip a silencer or a red dot sight with the AK-74U in Call of Duty 4, it diminishes the hipfire accuracy, so we'll equip steady aim just to tighten that hipfire spread back up and make it more competitive when we run into anyone and need to spray from the hip. So moving on, let's take a look at recommended attachments. Obviously we've got the option of the suppressor, which can be a good choice, but we'll go for the red dot sight in this case. The iron sights on the AK-74U are pretty usable, but they're not quite as good as the MP5, so the red dot sight just gives you a little red dot to aim through and help find and track your targets. I'm not as keen on the shape and the design of the red dot sight in Call of Duty 4 when compared to that of Modern Warfare 2, but it is quite a bit more usable than the ones we have in Black Ops, in that it has more of a window to see through, so it kind of just gives you more peripheral vision. So in these guides I'm also given a piece of recommended equipment. In the case of the AK-74U, we've not got that many choices, but the stun grenade's always a handy tactical grenade to equip. We haven't got the special grenades ×3 perk that we could have equipped in place of bandolier, but just having 1 or 2 stun grenades will just help you stay alive, and you can often just chuck these things around corners or down alleyways just to check for enemies before you run by. So that's the AK-74U in Call of Duty 4. I hope you enjoyed this little episode. If you did, please consider dropping me a little thumbs up just to help share the video with others. If you enjoyed it, why not consider subscribing to stick around for the next episode. I've got plenty more weapons to review in Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops, just to run through the popular and favourite weapons as kind of preparation for Modern Warfare 3, because obviously a lot of these weapons will be reappearing, especially the ones that we've got in Modern Warfare 2. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you all later.